Hello, YouTube universe. Welcome back to another Potential Realized Athletic Enterprise video. I'm Coach Drew, joining you this afternoon with another probably 15-minute video. I had another 15 minutes, and I've been having a lot of very unique experiences with my clients lately. And I like to reflect on these experiences, learn and grow, and hopefully turn them into something constructive. So, something that I came across that I wanted to share with you all today is the concept of a paradigm shift. Now, when it comes to paradigm shift, what exactly does that mean? A paradigm shift means that we're looking for a major change in, from our perspective, a view of self and in our concepts and practices of how we operate in the world. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at a certain circumstance. I have a lot of clients who, over the years, or a lot of people who learn from me come and they start learning. We make a lot of progress, and for one reason or another, either there's a vacation, or they move, or they go to school and then they're going to come back. There's a break in training. Now, 9 out of 10 times, the client does not continue with what was practiced or learned during training. And this has happened enough times for me to really try to figure out what is happening here, because I never could understand why someone would engage in training and then not continue with everything that they learned. You're investing in knowledge and proper application of exercise and movement. Why would you not continue on with everything that you invested in and learned? So I really wanted to reflect on this. And when I look back on the times in my own life when I've had to change the most, I had to really dig into myself and reevaluate the perspective I was taking on said situation. I had to reevaluate who I thought I was as an individual approaching the situation. What are the experiences that I've gone through, and how am I looking at those experiences, and how does that formulate into either my success or failure at the task at hand? Um, so I've written a couple notes down here. So have you ever started a fitness program and for some reason had to take a break? Did it stick with you? Did you stick with it? Did you hold yourself accountable? You got all the right information, you memorized everything. Why, when left to your own free will and to your own devices, do you not maintain the practice? And what it ultimately boils down to is it's because you yourself did not change. You engaged in training from a surface level or superficial perspective. If a couple, I'm just reading from my notes here, so forgive me for continuing to look down. It says if we're too attached to our current identity, too attached to our past trauma, or too anxious and fearful of future events, we will be unable to truly change, for all change done while still attached to our current identity will be surface or superficial change. Yes, you may lose a few pounds, you may make a quick dollar, you may find a quick and superficial success, but without changing certain fundamental aspects of yourself, none of these changes will stick. So what we're ultimately looking for is a paradigm shift. We're looking for a major change in our view of self, in our concepts and practices of how we operate in the world. I also wrote down that this will usually coincide with a major change in our worldview and in how we perceive the events that have happened to us, our personal negative experiences and traumas, and it will also and it will also change the way that we perceive events that will come to happen to us in the future. And this is in reference to like fear and anxiety. if you have a trainer and there's a period of time where for one reason or another you and your trainer no longer have the ability to do in-person sessions, this is your true test to see if you as a person have changed, or if you tried to layer on top of or seek superficial external changes, instead of digging deep down and figuring out who it is that's actually trying to change. I think as a trainer, I really intentionally focus on this layer of change. In my opinion, it's fairly easy to teach someone exercises, diet, nutrition, proper technique. All of these things are, yes, that has a certain level of complication, but in reality, it's fairly simple and it's not too difficult to teach or relay that type of information. The difficulty comes in getting that information to become a daily practice or a habit. And it's even more so difficult to address the why behind the change. Or on the opposite side, the inability to change. I've worked with people for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. We'll make a wonderful amount of, initial progress. And then at a certain point, we'll stall out and we'll stop making progress. And we'll have a problem getting over this hump. Certain clients I have really dig down hard and do everything they can to get over that hump, and those are the people that I've found the most success with. Other people find a certain level of change, and then from my perspective, it seems as though they come face to face with the reality of the work involved in creating the change that it is that you're asking for. When we come face to face and we realize what we have to do in order to create the change that we want to have happen, it is kind of traumatizing. In all reality, it really is. When you come face to face with the identity that you've held on to for so long, and you realize that that identity is what stopped you from making your progress, you have to abandon your entire self and start to piece yourself back together again. And this is a very, very difficult process. And unfortunately, through my experience, it's a process that a lot of people aren't aware that they have any control over or influence on. And once they do, they feel very much that it's too late to do anything about that process. So what this all boils down to is, if we're looking for lasting change, if we're looking for things that stick, if we're looking for things to really, really, really be different, not just to seem different, not just to, not just to find a superficial layer of change. You got a new outfit, you're wearing a new shirt, you switched from this brand to that brand. Those are all superficial changes. If we're not looking deep down into who it is that's actually asking for the change, I think we're going to have a very difficult time finding anything that actually sticks with us. And the ultimate goal for in me training with my clients is to teach you. I don't want you to have to be attached to me at the hip. If for some reason we're separated and you move or I move or life events take you in a different direction, I want you to be able to take what we worked on together and allow it to continue to feed into your success in the future. So again, guys, what we're looking for is a paradigm shift. If you're engaging in a new activity, or if you're trying to transmute your energy like we spoke about yesterday, if you're trying to transmute your energy, but you're doing this from the perspective of the traumatized, or if you're doing this from the perspective of trying to alleviate pain, it's important to understand that we're still approaching it from a perspective of pain. This is kind of paradoxical in nature, and the paradox, I think, is where a lot of us get lost. All of your processes are going to be different and individual and unique, just like all of our physical fitness approach is individual and unique to us. So what works for one thing won't necessarily work for everybody. However, gravity affects everybody, and 45 pounds to me is also 45 pounds to you. So with that being said, there are certain universal constants that we need to keep in mind here, and we all can kind of start to focus on the foundational layer of building ourselves up and starting to, if we actually want to look at it the other way, tearing ourselves down. In order to create something new, we have to take away what's old. In order to fill the cup, we must empty the cup first. So we want to keep these things in mind when it comes to paradigm shift, guys. If we want lasting change that sticks with us, whether that be in the gym or anywhere else in our life, we're looking for a complete and total shift in the way that we view ourselves and in the way that we view our concepts and practices when it comes to operating in the world. So thank you guys so much for tuning into another Potential Realized Athletic Enterprise video and letting me ramble and watching my face for 15 minutes. Thank you guys so much, and I hope to bring more information to you guys soon.